As you all know, Stéphane Humbert Lucas creates fragrances that are incredibly layered and nuanced. To be quite frank with you, that's what he really is good at and shines the most. But he does have creations that smell very simple, where you might think there's not really a lot going on. In other words, there is this lack of expected morphism and otherworldly type of an effect, which creates this misunderstanding about some of his creations. Remember, sometimes simple things are the most difficult things to create. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And today we're going to talk about a unicorn creation from Stéphane Humbert Lucas from his 777 collection that unfortunately has been discontinued. Yes, I'm talking about OUD 777, which was launched in 2014, and it falls under spicy, resinous, amber, woody category. Like Ohira, this is an amber resin-driven beauty. It is just as sweet, warm, furry, inviting, hugging, snuggling, cozy as Ohira, but more earthy, less delicate, more raw, like the fur and the personality of Fennec Fox. Delicate and soft, but yet wild, raw, skittish, and startled easily. I have been reading a lot of reviews about 777 Oud, and quite frankly, as I mentioned above, it is very obvious that this fragrance is very misunderstood. A lot of people say that they do not smell any oud in here, and some people say that they smell this fecal barnyardish oud for the first 15 minutes and then it fades away. So it's kind of a mix of a review when it comes to OUD 777. And some people say that this fragrance is mostly labdanum, myrrh, and tonka bean. And obviously there are those ingredients in here as well, but there's definitely more than those three ingredients going on in OUD 777. But you need to be aware of the fact that Mr. Lucas has a very unique technique to blend his oud oils in his creation, and it can come off as it is not even there. That's because of the complexity of his process that creates a simple chord where all the notes play or sing together as one like music chords. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your creation clean, meaning one complete accord where everything is in harmony with one another. Therefore, it comes off as simple. OUD 777 is an easy fragrance to smell, or I should say to wear, at least for me, but yet it has a complex facets that create an illusion of a simple scent. All right, so let's get to the accords of OUD 777 and see what we get. Make sure you stick to the end of my video and check out the unboxing of this beautiful, gorgeous bottle. Again, this one, as I mentioned, unfortunately is discontinued, so you probably have to look on eBay or certain websites or social medias that some people, they put them for sale. If you get lucky, you can get one. But if you have this, you're definitely a very lucky person, because this is a beauty. And if you're a big fan of Stéphane Humbert Lucas like I am, you definitely need to have this in your collection. All right, so let's spray some of this and see what we get. Man, I really like this, and that's because I love Ohira, and I got Ohira first, and then I got this one. And they are very similar. I mean, the first time when I got this, and then when I smelled it, I was like, God, is this Ohira? So I thought it was really the copy of it. But when you spray them side by side, you definitely notice the differences. And there is actually a big difference between this and Ohira. And I did mention the differences. But God, it smells so good. It's so raw. It's so primal. Where I think Ohira is actually more tamed. It's more, it's prettier than this. This still has like a raw, as I keep repeating myself, raw primal side to it, which I really like. Almost like a wild side to it. I can definitely smell the oud. All right, so OUD 777 opens up with a rich, heavy blast of high quality labdanum, which is very close to Ohira, but not the same. So yes, you do get a big dose of labdanum on the initial spray, which I can tell. That's why a lot of people say there's a big dose of labdanum in here. So you definitely get that. It's a labdanum fragrance on the opening, but it is accompanied with other stuff at the same time. So at the same time, I also get this strong earthy agarwood flavor with a subtle smoky slash petrol. Some people like to say fecal and animalic, but to me, I smell more of like a petrol type of a smell, kind of a smoky petrol type of a smell to the agarwood, which is really interesting the way he mixed it. So I mean, again, it's very subjective. You can definitely debate that. But to me, it has that type of effect to it, the oud. And it also has a sweet and semi-sour aroma to it as well, which normally you get that from the oud from Burma. So most of the oud from Burma, they have this sweet sour type of a chord to them. And actually, sometimes there is also hints of floral in Burma oud as well, which I don't really get that here. I don't smell anything floral at all. But usually because I smelled pure Burma oud, and usually they do have a little bit of like a floral vibe to them as well. Maybe it is in here, but it is so far back that I don't smell it. So I do get a rich, warm, and earthy oud with a subtle animalic muskiness that lingers, which definitely is the characteristics of a white lotion oud. So as you can see, we are definitely getting the two types of high quality oud in here. But the subtle, nuanced, and layered way they're mixed with other precious ingredients in here makes it difficult to detect, at least for some people. Alongside these two high quality oud, you definitely get a big dose of gorgeous labdanum amber, which has a chocolate and animalic vibe to it. And let me tell you, the labdanum amber is so beautiful and has so much in common with Ohira. That's why a lot of people mistake this one with Ohira. They say they are the copy of each other, but they're not. So you also get a good dose of myrrh, some frankincense, and some spices over a smooth, balmy base. So the opening definitely has this dose of animalic chocolatey labdanum, oud, leather, subtle hints of tobacco, kind of, and also some nuances of a smoky animalicness going on as well at the same time. But even with all these hard notes, you still can tell there's a sweet creaminess and sugary spiciness going on in the background. This creaminess and sugary spiciness must be coming from amber, anise, licorice, black truffle, gingerbread, and vanilla chords, which must be coming from a big dose of tonka bean, and some of it must be coming from labdanum as well. This is very addictive, and it's becoming better and better as it dries down. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous type of a scent. But the main theme here is oud, leather, smoke, or I should say burned wood that is done in an exotic, spicy, sweet kind of a way. Very playful in a way that at times is sharp and potent, and sometimes it feels very light and smooth and quite airy, to be honest with you. Very tastefully done. Okay, so regarding the two ouds, I'm sure in the comment section there will be questions regarding how animalic or blue cheese are the ouds in here. And I have to say, for me, this is a very well-tamed oud. Again, I'm comparing this to like what is it called? A leather oud by Christian Dior. If you have tried that, you know exactly what I'm referring to. So to me, this one is not as barnyardish and fecal as that one, but it does have certain aspects to it for someone that is not used to oud, might come off that way. But for me, it definitely is a very easy oud and very well tamed. Again, to finish off with the oud, I have to say, even if it comes off kind of harsh for some people, which it is really not, just give it 15 minutes and then you will just appreciate how beautiful the dry down is. It's just such a beautiful, gorgeous dry down when it comes to OUD 777. And remember, the contrast between the beast and the beauty makes this fragrance really shine. And that's what I love about this fragrance, where at the beginning it does have that raw primal animalic kind of a vibe to it, but then at the same time, when it settles down, it's so smooth, so creamy, so snuggling, so cozy. So just give it time. That what I was talking about will probably last tops about 15 minutes and it will fade away. Let's talk about the notes. So after speaking to Mr. Lucas to try to get the real notes in this fragrance, I was not very successful and got only few major notes out of him. So I do believe that there are way more than what he provided me in this beauty. So he mentions that there are a mixture of oud or grand ouds going on in here, like brown oud from Burma and white oud from Laos. And then you have leather selections and you got a big dose of tonka bean. But again, I believe there's definitely a big dose of labdanum going on in here. You definitely have a big dose of myrrh going on in here. You definitely have frankincense going on in here. So there's other stuff that I'm probably not even mentioning that's going on in this fragrance. So, and again, Stéphane Humbert Lucas likes to keep it very secretive, and it's very difficult to get the actual notes out of him. All right, so let's get to the fun part of OUD 777. As far as the performance and longevity goes, this one is a great performer because of all the intense notes that are going on in here. And as far as the longevity goes, it is a very long-lasting fragrance. On my skin, I get easily between 10 to 12 hours. So as far as the performance and longevity goes, I would definitely give it a high score. All right, so as far as the projection and sillage goes, this one has a great sillage. I would say the sillage is pretty good. It's not crazy enormous, but it has a great sillage. And that's because of the concentration of the fragrance. It's a high concentrated fragrance, so it stays closer to you. But of course, on the initial spray, I get about 4 to 5 feet of projection, but after 45 minutes or so, it gets very close to the skin, but stays very strong that way for a very long time. So as far as the projection sillage goes, I would give it a medium score. All right, so let's get to the compliments of OUD 777. As far as the compliments goes, this is an artistic type of a oud. If you have smelled Ohira, you know what I'm talking about. This is not a mass appealing type of a fragrance. And if you're looking for something that gets a lot of compliments from girls and stuff like that when you go out, this is not your fragrance. But if you're looking for something that's mystical, it's soulful, it's cozy, it's snuggly, something that you want to wear it during the Christmas time with your significant other, or with a bunch of people, you guys are hanging out by the fireplace. And so this would be a great scent for that. And I think in the right setting, you would definitely get a lot of compliments with OUD 777. So as far as the compliments goes, I would give it a medium score. All right, so let's talk about the versatility of OUD 777. Yeah, this one definitely is not going to be a very versatile fragrance. You guys can tell from the notes of it, so I don't really need to go over it. But I would say this would do great in fall and even better in wintertime. Specifically during Christmas time, this would be fantastic fragrance for that. So this would be great for Christmas parties or when you're hanging out at home and stuff for yourself. It's a very mystical, cozy, snuggling type of a scent. And I would say you can definitely wear this dressed down or dressed up. So as far as the versatility goes, I would actually give this kind of a medium to high score because you can kind of wear this anywhere you like. All right, so let's get to the uniqueness of OUD 777. If Ohira didn't exist, this one would be very unique. It would be a very unique type of a oud or ouds in here. But because of Ohira, I would say I would give this one a medium score, and that's probably the reason why this one has been discontinued, because probably Ohira did better than this one. But a lot of people love this one sometimes more than Ohira, so it depends what you like. If you like your labdanum and oud to be more animalic and raw, you would love oud 777. If you want it to be prettier, I would say Ohira would be your fragrance. So again, you're not missing out. If you're looking for something like this, just go with Ohira. But if you really want to get this, I'm sure there are different websites like eBay or different social media groups that they are selling them. And I don't know about the price, but you can give it a try and see what you get. And that's it, you guys. That's all I have. With that being said, we get to the end of my video. If you own this fragrance, please let me know in the comment section what's your take on it. And if you don't own it and you really want to try something like this, just go with Ohira. Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye.